Well, hello, my YouTube family. I hope you guys are doing fine. In previous video, I actually went ahead and showed you guys how to install the SCCM client manually. Basically, if the machine is not joined to the main, and if you need to install the SCCM client manually, I went over that. I also did show you how to enable fallback status point on the SCCM server. There was also a recap of firewall policies in that video too. If you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. This channel is about SCCM. Majority of the videos are about SCCM, but I do plan on creating more videos that would all revolve around Windows Server 2019. So in this video, I'm going to cover only one topic, which is number 2 that you can see on the slide. Is basically installation of SCCM client using a logon script. This is a very good method and is a very reliable way to install SCCM client, and the saturation rate and success rate is much higher as compared to the other methods that are used. So ideally, I do recommend this method on many over all of the other methods. So some of the advantages of this method is that you don't have to worry about, you kind of bypass all of the environmental, like a network environment, and you get to directly kind of the installation of it. So that's why if there are environments that have some kind of a DNS, the DNS issues, this is one of the good method to install SCCM client. It doesn't require computers to be discovered before the client can be installed. The other advantage of this method is that it does support command lines, exactly like if you are trying to install manually, the process that I showed you in the previous video. Some of the disadvantages of this method is that if you are trying to deploy this on a large number of clients over a very short time period, it can have a very negative impact on the network traffic. Just imagine 1,000 users log in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and each one trying to go and grab 350 megabyte of data out of SCCM server. So it does generate a lot of traffic on the network. So you have to be careful if you are trying to deploy it to the mass number of endpoints. And the other one more disadvantage is that if the user don't frequently log on to the network, it can take a long time to install SCCM client on those kind of machines. It does happen to the users, like let's say if they had ever came into the office and then they work remotely and they never really VPN into the network of the company, then that could be, because it's not going to get any kind of a new GPO policies. That's why you're not going to see that the execution of the installation scripts that we will create shortly would happen, because there is no new policy going on those machines. So that is one of the disadvantages of this method. So I have kind of break down how I'm going to go over installation into 4 different methods. Actually, 4 different steps. Sorry, I take it back. 4 steps. So in the first one, I'm going to quickly create a folder on the SCCM server, and then I'm going to go ahead and share that folder as a shareable, so that it is accessible to all of the endpoints, no matter wherever they are in the network. That is the folder that's going to have the current production version of your SCCM client. Then I'm going to show you there is actually a ready-made script that runs on an XML file. It was created by a JSON. I will show you the website where you could actually go and download that. There is an XML file, and then there is a VBS file. So you need to just customize that XML file, and then that VBS drives through that XML file, and you could define certain properties of installation of the SCCM client. In the third step, I'll just go and log into domain controller, and I will create a GPO, and that GPO is the one that is actually going to execute on the login time, and that's where that installation for SCCM client is going to take place. And then finally, I will just quickly go over and make sure that the SCCM client really is working as expected and is reporting back to our SCCM server. So let's get started. So first thing first, I'm just gonna log into SCCM server, which is SCCM 01. As you can see it right here too. This was created earlier during this lab. So I do strongly suggest, if you are new to, if you have just landed on this video, maybe start from the beginning, because that would help you a lot. And what you want to do is just simply go to wherever your SCCM client is. In this lab, I have it. I installed the SCCM in C program files, Microsoft Configuration Manager, and that's where. And then go to client. That's where the SCCM current production version of SCCM client is. So just copy those files, and then open a new file explorer. I will stage this one, the SCCM client, on E, which you could just right here. You could see that I have already created a folder, and I have already copied basically all of the SCCM files from C program files, Microsoft Configuration Manager client, to E SCCM client, and then I have just dumped them all right here. And then I went ahead and also created an extra folder which is called the error logs. This is where all of the logs are going to come, and they are going to be basically depending on whichever machine that they are running on. I was running a test, and you could see that that test was ran on TXDC01, and the log would be generated based on whatever the domain that it is running. So my domain name is bbtech.com, so that's how the name of the log would be. So any machine that the logon script is going to run, the log is going to get generated right here. So that's the whole process of the whole reason that I created the error logs folder. The next step, what you want to do is right click onto SCCM client, that newly created folder, go to the properties, and you want to share it. Go to sharing, and then click on share. You want to share it with everyone. Right click, read and write, and then share. This will also ask you that if you want to share these subfolders with it too. So just say change settings, and then click on SCCM client and do done. So now this is being shared. One thing that you want to do, just go back and right click and check the properties. Make sure and verify that this one is kind of has a UNC path to it. One way to do is just quickly verify it. The way to do it is just open up a new browser. A new file explorer. I'm sorry, I had a very long day and I'm tired. SCCM 01 / and then since the name of that here is SCCM client, and that's where you could just see that's now shareable. So this step is done. Next I need to do is I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna minimize SCCM server. Actually, we are kind of done on this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and close it. Is open your browser, whatever the internet browser that you're using, and go to this site right here, home.configmanagerftw.com, and config mgr. I'm gonna paste this link into the description of this video so you could just get it. Go ahead and then download the script, startup script. The latest version at the recording time is 1.8.4. Whenever you get to it, it might be a little bit, the version might be a little bit different, but make sure whatever the latest version is, try to get that version. Once you have that downloaded, which I have it downloaded right here, you can just copy them to one of the folder. Just gonna minimize it right here. And then the changes that you need to make. Don't worry about the startup.vbs. You need to make the changes into config manager startup.xml. So to right click on it and just get one of your editor, whichever one that you are used to. You could edit it even into Notepad if you desire to do so, but I do recommend that maybe use Notepad++ or something, because visually it's much easier to see certain things on it. So I'm just going to click edit, and this is the XML file. It's not like really complicated. So I'm just going to make few changes to it. One is going to be Bibi tech. So if you go here, these are the parameters that actually passes through whenever SCCM client is being installed. So local admin, this is basically when the script runs, it will add that user to user as a local admin on that machine, just in case if the policy is not there and the user that is trying to install it is not a local admin. That's what it does. So the one that I am interested in is the SCCM admin account, the one that I always been using in this whole lab series. So for me, it's the Bibi Tech. That's my lab / SCCM admin. Site code, whatever the site code that is for you. For me, it is TX1. Don't worry about the cache size, because that can potentially come down with the SCCM client policies whenever it would be successfully installed. As for the agent version, you could actually look into the client folder. Let me show you that one real quick too. Just gonna have to go back into SCCM. So here, if you go to the SCCM, what you could do is just simply go and look at that SCCM setup.exe, which is one way to look at it. It's just application is usually the executable. Right click it and properties. Go to click on the details tab, and that's where you could see the product version right here and the file version. They should kind of be always matching, so just get it from there. This is where you would get your current production version for SCCM installation source media. Don't worry about minimum interval. Client location, this is very important, very important. This is basically where your the location for the newly created folder that we created to put the installation files in, and it needs to have a full UNC path. You should verify this one from a different machine in your lab to make sure that you are able to get to this. If this path is not correct, then obviously the script is not going to know where the source files are, and it's going to fail. Don't worry about the max log file. Leave as a default. Error location. This is, if you recall, I did create a separate folder, which was an error logs folder, which is under SCCM 01, SCCM client in my case. So that's where you want to put the logs folder. You could have any other remotely accessible folder if you don't want to put it into SCCM 01. It could be anything that is reachable within the network. Then for FSP, you're going to put the fully qualified name for your FSP. For me, it is SCCM 01, so I'm just putting SCCM01.bbtech.com. SMS MP, same thing. The management point for me is SCCM 01, so put that path. MP management point is the same, put that path. For if you're following this lab, you could just literally copy and paste all of that, and then that should work. Don't worry about anything else on this. Just leave everything as default, and then just simply go ahead and then save it. Make sure to save it and then close this. Now we have these files prepared. Next, what I'll do is I will go and log into the domain controller, and there I would copy these and create a GPO that would basically take us further in this video. So I'm just going to log in now to DC01. Excuse me, it's DXDC01. So once you're logged into the domain controller, as you can see, is DXDC01. Launch the server manager, and then you want to click on the tools, go into group policy management. Once this one is launched, so this GPO you could create on any level, but let's say that you are trying to install in a specific area in your Active Directory, then obviously you could create on the OU level 2 and apply that GPO to just that level. Make sure, I repeat again, don't apply that GPO onto the domain level in production environment. Do your testing, do all of the thorough testing, and then do whatever needs to happen in production environment. I would not be responsible for it if you try these. Anything that I teach you on this channel is only for the lab purpose. So please don't apply these directly into production environment and wind up breaking something, and you would have a resume making experience. Don't do that. Just test it thoroughly. If you are not familiar with the Active Directory, talk to the experts in your company and then take it. I cannot say more than this. So just be very careful with this one, because this can be very dangerous for the business. But I would create the GPO on a domain level, because since it's this lab, and I want to make sure that all of machines that in the future, if I want to use them, they could get the client on a domain level. So to create a new GPO, just select wherever you are interested. In this case, I am interested in creating it at bbtech.com. Right click it, create a GPO in this domain and link it here. Name it, so I'll just call it SCCM Client. Just put some kind of a name that makes sense. Logon Script client installation. Wow. Then click OK. So it's right here. Once it's created, go ahead, right click, and then edit. Go into the policies, then click on Windows settings, scripts, startup and shutdown. Then click on the startup, double click it. You would see this prompt. Click add, browse, and then you just want to get this path wherever this path is, right? So this path is actually under Windows. Let me put it up here a little bit. Syswall, and then is Syswall. That's the domain. bbtech.com. Policies. And then a look at this quit is C1B2F right here. Machine, scripts, startup. This is where you need to copy those two files, the one that were downloaded from Jason's website, is these two scripts. So I'm just gonna copy them and try to paste it into this folder. I might get an error here. Yep, access denied. So the reason why is because the user permission. So just simply open up a new folder and then copy it locally first. So in this case, I'm just gonna move them to, I'm gonna copy it into like right here. I think I have already done that. So replace them. Now copy and just try to move it again. And you should have not a problem getting into there. So right there, you have these now. So they are copied where they are. I'm just gonna minimize this folder. And then now you could see this folder is right here. So what I did basically, I wanted to browse to that script, the one that I want to execute right here. So click browse, and then select the VB script. You want to select the startup.vbs. Click OK. Open. That's right there. And now you need to also pass the parameter to it too. So there is some text that needs to go with it, which I have already copied here. And that's the parameter for this. Let me see. It's not pasted for some reason. So it's backslash config for configuration colon. It's not a semicolon, it's a colon. And then the name of the file, which is config mgr startup.xml. Just make sure to verify these spelling again so that you don't run into any kind of problems with it. All right, then click OK, click apply, click OK, and you could close this one now. Now you are done with creating the GPU. And if you want to enforce it, you could actually right click and then select enforce too. So this is enforced now. We are done with the Active Directory now. The next step is basically to create a machine, just any kind of machine, which I have created already in my lab. That is just only operating system installed on it. It is not joined to domain. It has no name, nothing at this time. It does have a generic name. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna name that machine to maybe a test one or something like that, and then join it to the domain and then see what happens. So I'm just gonna log into my ESXL lab. I have already created a machine, which is right here. I call it test manual client. And when I built it, I believe I have not renamed it. So I'm just good. And it was intentional so that you guys can see that this is not joined to domain. It's just the basic, yeah. So as you can see, it's desktop, whatever the generic arbitrary name that system had generated. So I'm just gonna go ahead and change the name to it and also join to the domain too. So I'm gonna call this one test1, and the domain I'm gonna join it to is Bibi Tech. Credential is Bibi Tech / my SC_admin, and then the password is the awesome password. Okay. Okay, so it is joined to the domain. Okay. Wants to restart, click OK. Before I restart, I'm just going to also enable the RDP on this one too. In the next video, I'll show you guys how you could actually leave this. Basically, I'm going to create a GPU so that I don't have to ever do it manually. So I'm just going to restart. So if the script is working fine, right at the reboot, the GPO policy should apply, and that script should execute, and installation of SCCM client also should start. So I'm gonna launch Task Manager to see if it's doing its thing. CCM exec. Also go and take a look at it, see Windows, and there should be, yeah, right there, CCM setup.exe. That's the folder that is created, and if I go in it, you should see the source files that are kind of downloading. And here I should see CCM exec running somewhere too, right there. Sorry, not CCM exec, I take it back. CCM setup.exe. So that's running. That's a good sign. So I could just actually double click on it and just take a look at the log real quick. CCM setup, and then that's the whole log of what is exactly happening. And then there is another MSR log too that should also have some information regarding the actual installation of the client. So SCCM, I'm just gonna wait on this, and as soon as I'm gonna have a exit code 0 or successful code, that would be a good sign. And then also, while this one is installing, I'm just gonna go into SCCM machine and then see if this machine is showing up over there or not. So that's the SCCM right there. Right click and launch SCCM console. Go to assets and then devices or device collections. The way you should be able to see, and I'm just going to click on double click on all systems, see if test 1 is there. Test 1 is there, as you could see, because this, as soon as it joined the domain, SCCM ran the discovery and it just found that object in the Active Directory. But as you could see, it still does not is showing that there is no SCCM client on it because client is currently installing. Once the client is successfully installed on it, it should show yes right here. So I'll just go back again and see the status of the client. And this is the MSR log. I'm just gonna open it up and excuse me. Try to see if it was successfully installed. Looks like it was. That's Windows installer install product. Yeah, it's installation successful. That's the code, and also you can just take a look at the CCM setup.log too. Yeah, no errors. CCM is exiting and return code. This is good. Now what I'll do is I'll just go and launch the client properties so that I can update the policies, force update the update. So that's the configuration manager. I went into the control panel and then launch this, and then go to actions tab. And as you could see right now, I'm just seeing only machine policy and the user policy. There should be some more that should start populating once it will start connecting to the SCCM server successfully. So I'm just gonna force it and just run it. So machine policy, and then I click run now, And then also we can take this a little bit time. So I think it's running some stuff in the background. Yeah, it's doing its things. Just gonna give it. Patience is the virtue with SCCM. Just remember that. Just let it. This CCM exact.exe is running. I'm just gonna give it just a little bit more time for it to settle down. And if I go and look at the logs for SCCM, now this was Windows Setup logs is the logs for the installation of the SCCM clients, but the actual logs that how the client is functioning, then you need to go into Windows SCCM and logs, and you are going to see like a lot of activity going on over here. Yep, this is where I think it just went and checked in. Seems like everything is working fine. I'm just gonna pause it just for a few moments, and I will be back, and hopefully it will be all green in the SCCM console. So I'm just gonna pause it for a few moments. Okay, so now I'll just go back again one more time. Under control panel, go to the configuration manager. See if actions. As you could see, there are more action items that have popped up based on the communication that it is having with the SCCM. So I'll just go back and check on the SCCM server and see what's going on there. Refresh it. And as you could see, right now the SCCM client is yes, but the green check is still not there because it still did not receive all of the policies. And this process I have showed you guys in the previous video when I manually installed the SCCM client on test 3. So I'm not going to make this video any longer than it needs to be. Hopefully you understand what happened, how I set up the login script so that you could install the SCCM through that. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. I would request that if you could like this video, share with your friends or on the social media so that my channel can grow. And it makes me very happy to see whenever more and more people are gaining some knowledge from me. So please help me on growing my channel on that. Thank you so much wherever you are. Peace.